Hello my beautiful butterflies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beverley and it's lovely to see you today. In this video I'm going to be attempting to sew my first dress. I'm really scared, so wish me luck. Grab that tea, let's do this. So I've got all my things here. I'm going to tell you all about my plans for this dress. I'm really nervous. I started learning to sew before I moved into my mum's house and I was really enjoying it. Neither skirt's really wearable because I'm not at that point in my skill level yet. But I thought I'd just throw myself back into it by attempting a dress. So this is Simple Sew and it's the Sienna dress and it's for an adventurous beginner, which I feel like it's going to be out of my skill level, but I don't care. I'm really excited to try and make a dress. It's like a little, I'm doing this one here. So it's just a pinafore dress with pockets because of course. And I'm really excited to make this dress. Simple Sew, their patterns are gorgeous. I mean, look at these. So they're absolutely gorgeous. I'll leave links to everything that I get down below. I have some green thread and a green zip as required by the pattern. And I've picked up this, I think it's cotton. Yeah, 100% cotton in a lovely foresty green. My favourite colour is green, so I thought I'd try and make a green pinafore dress that I can wear onwards, as it were. So I'm really excited to try this out, and I've also already traced out the pattern pieces that I'll be needing in the right size. So I bought these to keep the patterns in so that they're all nice and together. So I'll leave a link to these as well. So if you want to get some of them to keep your patterns in, you may. So yeah, that's what we're going to be attempting to do. I'm really scared. Don't forget, if you're new here, you can click the subscribe button to become part of the butterfly family. I would love to have you here. Join the family and join the fun. Don't forget to leave me a comment and a cheeky like. But let's do this. Hello everyone, it's Christmas Eve at the moment and I'm just avoiding thinking about Christmas by sewing. I thought I was going to start actually doing the sewing portion of the sewingness, but I realised that my fabric was really see-through, so I'm just cutting out twice, like all the pattern pieces again, so that I can double them up. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm just pinning everything and cutting it out. That's where everything else is. That's where I normally film, but at the moment it's holding all my pieces. So yeah, that's what I'm up to today. Just cutting out, listening to music, chilling, trying to feel Christmassy and not at all. I tried curling my hair in a vintage styly today. Let me know how I did. But yeah, I'm going to head off and carry on doing this. It's great fun. So here we are again. It's been a little while since I last spoke to you. I'll be honest, I've kind of been putting off sewing. What happened was, now listen, because I'm serious now. Fear for me is a big thing. Like new things I struggle with. So sewing, coming back to sewing after such a big break has been really scary for me. So I put it off for like over a year. That's really bad. And then I came to start sewing just before Christmas. It's now New Year. It's way past New Year. And my presser foot was missing. Like I changed it to do the zip and hadn't changed it back. And it was missing. We looked everywhere, so I had to order one in, and I got this really cute little set, so that I've got every kind of presser foot I can need for the rest of my life now. But then I kind of put it off for a week, so we're back now today, and we're going to be sewing the top together, I think, today. I have the instructions here. They seem quite easy to follow. That's why I love these Simple Sew, because they explain things so easily. Even an idiot like me can follow them. I am nervous about doing this project because it's, you know, coming back to something, and it's my first dress and everything. And I think it's okay to say you're scared. It's okay to admit. I do want to say though, I do have a travel mug now. I do have a travel mug so that I can drink here in the garage. Nice coffee to calm me down. Coffee's calming, right? But anyway, we're going to get to sewing the top together, so I'm going to get pinning that in a minute. I've forgotten how I did everything. I need help with my mental health at the moment because I'm so scared to do this wrong. I'm so nervous, but I'm also really excited to get back to sewing. I feel like I've forgotten everything. Please send help. But anyway, we're going to give it a whirl and hopefully get it all done. So let's do this. Well, that didn't go to plan. Let's talk about it, shall we? Yeah, so that's as far as my pattern making went. I cut out the pattern, cut out all the pieces. I sewed the first bit together. So I sewed the two fronts together and I was quite pleased with that. But I had already started to feel very demotivated, and the main reason is the material that I'd chosen. So this is like a plain cotton, but it is so thin that I've had to double up every single piece. Like, it's so thin and it's ripping really easy. It's already like fraying. It's just really bad quality, and because of that I was having to double up, and that was really making it hard because like I don't know how to do lining yet. That's above my pay grade, love. The material was just not good, and where I was pinning it was like ripping really easily. It was like working with tracing paper, which is not, you know, we don't make clothes out of that. And I was thinking, this isn't going to last. I'm putting in this time and effort, it's not working, and I was getting really demoralized. And at the end of the day, my mum said to me, just take it as a learning opportunity, talk about it, and then throw it in the bin. Because it's just horrible material. It taught me a lesson to try and find places to buy fabrics in my area. That's something that I'm definitely going to do instead of just buying stuff online. I'm in a really small town. We have like two little wool shops, and one of the wool shops I know does have a little bit of fabric, so I'm going to go in there for my next project and ask them, because what's really nice is the woman who works there, she's really knowledgeable, and she's helped me before with like picking out wools and buttons and stuff. So I feel like she's going to help me with picking up material, whereas just looking online where there is so many places, and I think it's tempting to just buy cheap, but I want to make clothes that I do actually want to wear. I think that's going to motivate me to try harder and to do better, rather than thinking, well, I'm never going to wear it. It's just wasting money and wasting material, and that is not what I want to be doing. So step number one that disappointed me was the material, but it's a big learning curve. Sewing is a whole thing. You've got to learn. There's a lot to learn, and I think learning about material and what materials are going to work for you is a big step, and this was just a big learning moment, really. Stop messing with your hair, Beverley. Cheers. The next thing that stopped me was the pattern. Now, these companies called Simple Sew, they do really like simple, basic kind of vintage style clothes, and that's why I've always wanted to sew their things. And I bought this pattern a couple of years ago now, wanting to make it. The thing is, it's got two lots of darts in it. It's a dress, it's got sleeves, and it's got pockets, and I've not done any of those things. I've literally made two skirts. One skirt you can see I did a video about, and the other one was like a circle skirt. Both were great learning opportunities, but going straight to a dress, I think this pattern has something like 20 steps in it. It's too much. It does say adventurous beginner on the front. I just don't think I realised what that meant. This is my first dress. It needs to be a little bit simpler, or I'm going to not do it. It's going to make my anxiety really high. So that was a big one as well. I have already picked out next month's project, and it's a 60s style dress. It's not made out of a vintage pattern, like it's not an old pattern, but it is a company that is really good, and it's in a book that I've been reading, and I think that's going to be a really, I think it's only got like 4 pieces, or maybe even 2 pieces, I can't remember, but it's a lot simpler. This was just a little bit too hard for me, and so I think I can do this thing where I'll leap in, like I'm going 180%, and I don't think about how I need to break things down into smaller steps. And I've learnt this before from going to therapy, that you need to break things down. If you have an anxiety disorder, you need to be kind to yourself. And I think I just need to think about the patterns that I do in future, the projects that I pick, and just make sure that they're at my level, because this is literally my first sewing project in over a year. It's my first dress. Like, I don't want it to be this really hard thing. So that was another reason why this just didn't work out. Another thing that I learned was my cutting out is rubbish. Like, if you look, I don't know if you can see, but they don't line up at all. One is bigger than the other. There you go, you can see there. They don't line up at all. You can see here. And because of that, it's going to be difficult to get your seams straight. It's going to be difficult to get the fitting right. And as I came to look at it, I was like, oh my goodness, I really haven't paid attention to cutting out properly. And that was a big one for me. I watched a video by Hayley Marie Vintage this morning actually, and she was cutting out and she cut really, really close to the pattern, as close as she could get, whereas I was like leaving a gap, because I was thinking, oh, I've got to leave a gap for the seam, but then I realised the seam's included. It's these little things that I get muddled with because of my memory disorder, so I have to try and remember I don't have to leave a seam allowance, and my cutting out needs to be a bit more precise. So that's something that I'm actually really excited about learning, because it's just having the knowledge to make the garment really fit, to make it work. People study this for years, like years and years and years. There are people who do degrees and things like that in this, and this is just a hobby. I'm just a little home hobby maker, but I do want to do my best, because I don't want to waste money, I don't want to waste materials, and I feel really guilty that I wasted this. If I remember rightly, it was really cheap, and you can tell. So I think that's just one of those things. And sewing is really expensive. So if ever you want to see me do really nice, I hate saying this. I do have a Ko-fi account. Ko-fi is a place where you can tip people. So you can buy them a coffee, or you can also be like, well, I'll give them £3 a month, or, you know, there's a lot of options there. So if you want to contribute towards me buying patterns and fabric, link is down in the description. I hate talking about money and asking for money, so we're just gonna just gloss over that and move on. I learned a lot, and the biggest lesson that I learned from this is to slow down and be kind to myself. So if there's nothing else you learn from this video, which by the way, none of my sewing videos are tutorials. They're not tutorial. It's not a tutorial. But if you're going to learn something from this video, just be kind to yourself and slow down. If you're learning a new skill, this is going to be something I want to be doing for the rest of my life. It's something that's going to take time, and I want to do it right. So I'm going to be doing this dress at some point in the future. Keep your peepers peeled, because it will be coming to the channel. I'm just not ready to do it yet. That's all. You know, be kind to yourself. It's not, I've put in the title, it was a fail. It's not really a fail. I just did one seam and then was like, this is falling apart. I can't work with this material. I can't work under these conditions. Although I didn't do a lot of sewing in this video, this is my first project of the year. I will be doing full outfits and dresses and things here. Vintage sewing is coming to the channel. It is. Next month we're doing a 60s inspired dress. I love the 1960s. 60s and 70s are two of my favourites, because you can just go insane with patterns. I absolutely love it. So I'm really excited for that. So make sure you stick around so you don't miss it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to head down below and leave it a cheeky little like, so I know that you enjoyed this video and I can bring more like it to the channel in future. Sewing is coming to the channel, so let me know down below any tips and tricks that you have learned on your sewing adventures. I would love to get talking to any other sewers. I never know what to call people who do sew. If you do sew too, then leave me a comment down below. Last but not least, if you enjoyed my content, if you like my face, don't forget to head down below and hit that subscribe button, ring that little bell so you always know when I upload. I'm usually here Mondays and Fridays, my health permitting. I always do my very best to be here with you every week, twice a week. Take care everyone, have a lovely week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.